remember, a narcissist is empty inside. They need attention. They don't care whether you love them or you hate them. That's perfectly fine with them. That's what they want. But if you ignore them, they get weak, angry, they lose their shit. Yo, what's up, my friendly warriors? Welcome back to another segment of the Psychopath Exposure Show. My name is Kira, and I'm your host today and every day. I wanted to talk about something that keeps coming up in my coaching program. As you guys who have been following know, I have a private one-on-one coaching program for victims and survivors of narcissistic abuse. More information in the link below in the description. But one of the recurring questions that I get is just the whole, I can't believe that people can be like this. Why does the narcissist do these things? Why do they keep doing that? Why do they do this? Why do they react like that? Don't they know any better? Like, don't they want to be happy? Why is it that they do X, Y, Z? Fill in the blank. Okay, fill in the blank at the end of that question. But it's just this confusion, this inability to reconcile or come to terms that somebody that on the outside looks like they function just like we do can all of a sudden engage in such destructive behavior with their loved ones, with their most trusted partners, with those that they're supposed to be, feeling safe with, those that they're supposed to be building a future with, those that they have made a commitment to grow old together, to stay together for the rest of their lives. Like, why is it, or how is it that people can just do these things? And we're talking about the self-sabotaging behavior, the abusive behavior, the obsessive behavior, the punishment, the neurosis that kicks in, the abuse, all this type of just unacceptable behaviors that nobody signed up for. And the answer to all those questions, and you already know what the answer is, if you're dealing with a narcissist, if you're dealing with a psychopath, if you're dealing with a sociopath, a borderline, these are the traits. These are the patterns of destructive behavior that individuals who have this personality disorder, this cluster B personality disorder, engage in. This is the reason, and that is the answer. And that answer does not sit well in many of the survivors of narcissistic abuse. Like, it can't just be that. Yes, it can. The same way your body breaks down when you have the flu or when you catch the common cold, and you accept that and you understand, oh, damn it, I'm getting the sniffles, I got a sore throat, I've got a fever, I must have the flu, I'm getting sick. You already know what's going to happen. You know it's going to happen eventually. Even when you get better, if you're a human being, you're probably going to get sick at some point. And you already know that those are the symptoms, and you're going to have to go through that until the virus leaves your body, until you get better. This is the same thing. It's just at a bigger scale. But if we try to simplify it, just for the sake of understanding, it's the same. It's the same like with any malady. You're dealing with a psychopath. Well, that's what psychopaths do. Dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing with a borderline. That's what they do. But Kira, it's been over a year. Why do they still harass me? Why do they still hoover? Why do they still send me these messages? And why do they keep lying to me? They're making these promises and yada yada. They refuse to delete their dating apps. They say they're gonna get a divorce from the other person, but they're not getting a divorce. I just found out they bought a house together. Why do they lie? Why do they do that? That's the answer. And no matter how much you spin it, that's the answer. The real question you got to be asking yourself is not why, but for how long am I going to put up with this type of unacceptable behavior? Because if you want to start asking why, the brain is going to come up with all sorts of answers, and you'll go down a rabbit hole. And sometimes you won't even reach the point of understanding that you're hoping to arrive at. You got to start asking questions like, how do I get out of this? How do I move forward after a narcissist discard? How do I navigate the world of narcissism? How do I combat these predators? How do I recognize the red flags of narcissists? Start asking better questions and you'll get better answers. Otherwise, it's always going to come back down to the basics. You're dealing with a narcissist. And now that you know, now that you're watching these videos and you're getting educated, now you know what they are, what they do, and why they always do it, and why they repeat the patterns. Wanted to read a couple of comments so you can see the confusion that's out there. I mean, this one comes from the Emperor Greatest, and they go, "Oh my God, my first encounter with a female narcissist. All the lies, manipulation, financially taking advantage of me. And when confronting her, it always was my fault. And I destroyed the relationship, etc. Now she needs time for herself. Saw her unblocking a bunch of dudes already, which she told me they were crazy, etc. All lies. I am so confused how people can be like this." You know, again, those are the patterns of a toxic person. If she's a narcissist, you know, she's definitely following the patterns. That's a smear campaign for all of her ex-boyfriends, right? They're all crazy, right? And maybe they are. Maybe they are, because some of these people get involved with psychotic, deranged crazies. They do. They do. And then they have to run. Some of them are attracted to low-life criminals. And then they have to run. But then when they need money, when they need some sort of thrill, because they're empty inside, they run back to the very same people that they told you that were crazy, that they were afraid for their life, and they were afraid for their safety, and that something was mentally wrong with them, and that they cheated on them, and all this nonsense, because they always have some sort of a baggage, right? They always have some sort of a toxic history with their exes. And yet, there they go, unblocking them, and most likely hoovering, trying to, you know, flirting back, trying to see what's going on, just to get a thrill, just to get something. Because maybe now that she realized that you're waking up and that this relationship is over, she's like, "Oh dear, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna maintain this lifestyle. So let's go back to the scumbags that I smeared and see if they're suckers and I can get more out of them." How can people be like this? Well, you're dealing with psychopathic, sociopathic, narcissistic, borderlines, cluster B personality disorders. And this is what they do. Okay, now we can break down all of those different ones in different videos. I have different videos where I talk specifically about those personality disorders. I'm going to continue making more. But in a nutshell, this is why people are like this. It's not everybody. It's these individuals, these particularly deranged, disordered individuals. Follow these patterns over and over and over again. And once you've stumbled upon one of them, you have to cut your losses and go. Do not try to fix the situation. Do not try to get back what you lost. Do not try to debate, justify or explain the reason you're reacting to their abuse. You're being abused. You're being lied to. You're being manipulated. Of course you're going to be pissed off. Of course you're going to say some shit that, some shit you don't mean, or maybe you do mean it now, right? Just don't go getting all violent, domestic violence or anything like that. But as a human being, of course you're going to get pissed off when you realize that you've been conned and you've been scammed. That's good. That's a natural reaction. For too long were you suppressing that, afraid that the narcissist would leave you, afraid that they would abandon you and walk right into the arms of one of those dudes that they were smearing to you, and they were telling you all sorts of nasty stories. And there you go. No matter how hard you tried, it was inevitable. That's exactly who they went back to. And now you're left in a state of confusion. Man, that would have been a nice, powerful statement, and I had to butcher the last word. You're left in a state of confusion. Now what are you going to do? You got to cut your losses and go. Because they are going to repeat those patterns over and over again. They're going to screw that last person that they already screwed over before. They're going to repeat it. That's right. They're going to repeat it. They're not going to find contentment. This is why they do the things that they do, because they are forever empty. They're always chasing a high. They're chasing a thrill. And a lot of them know it. A lot of them know there's something wrong with them. Just when they're in a good situation, something just comes up that they have to destroy it. They get bored. They get curious. They decide to take a risk. And they screw it all up. Normal people wouldn't do this. I'm not saying normal people are perfect, but they would not do these particular acts of abusive, manipulative, unacceptable behaviors that ultimately destroy what you were trying to build in the first place. Here's another comment. Comes in from Janelle Martinson. They go, "Are altruistic, compassionate, trusting selves our best traits, are what makes us susceptible to these evil creatures. We can't even conceive of their diabolical behavior. So we don't see it. We rationalize it. We question ourselves for the chaos that ensues in these relationships. It's such a tragedy. They keep hurting good people. And when we learn, we toughen up against our natural selves. I'm not as trusting. I'm cautious. I am not my natural loving self any longer. I'm changed." And that's a sad truth. I've said it before. Once you've gone through an experience like this and you do the work to heal, to turn your life around, you're going to be better than you ever were, but forever changed. Okay? And what do I mean by forever changed? Well, Janelle just said it. I'm not as trusting. I'm cautious. I'm not my natural loving self any longer. Why? Because now you are aware that you live in a planet where you have people that are walking around like ordinary people, but inside their brain, they're fucked up. And some more fucked up than others. Some are more mental. Some are more covert. You only see it inside the household. And they've got some sort of boundaries. They're not going to commit crimes. They're not going to get violent. But they'll do all sorts of psychological abuse and manipulation that ruins your life. And some are just very extroverted, and they go and they do atrocious, terrorism. They're fucked up. And we can talk till we're blue in the face about why they're fucked up. It usually starts in the home. But does it matter? I mean, if you have the opportunity to get out of an entanglement with a crazy like this, and I normally don't like to call them crazy, but hey, for the sake of conversation, it just sounds good, right? So if you're involved with a crazy like this and you can get out of it, take that opportunity, because you don't know when the next opportunity is going to come. These people are conniving. These people are like leeches, and they know how to push your buttons. They know how to push the buttons that get you to give them another chance, that they touch that soft side and you forgive them. They'll play the empath card. They'll play the religious card. They'll do whatever it takes to get your attention, to give them one more chance, to entertain the idea that perhaps the chaos in that relationship was because of you. They'll be able to gaslight your reality and make you question all these things that went on were really your fault. You created them. You brought this upon yourself. Maybe it was you. Maybe you are the narcissist. And then you take them back and you're like, damn, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the one responsible for tarnishing this relationship. And then you walk right back into the little trap. And that's why they keep doing the shit that they do, because they know that you're going to take them back. And if you don't take them back, they have someone else that's going to fall for their scam. So are you that afraid of being alone that you rather stay with a deranged, demented, abusive person instead of giving yourself a chance, giving life a chance, and maybe you can figure it out on your own? Maybe taking that leap of faith and permanently ridding yourself of this psycho is what the universe or what God wanted you to do, so that then they would send you the help that you need and the partner that you deserve to live a happy, joyous, abundant, free life. Many of us are afraid to take that leap of faith. We feel like, well, this is the best I'll ever get. Well, then that's what you're gonna get then. You're gonna settle for a narcissistic, manipulative, dangerous at times, psychopathic scoundrel. That's what you're gonna get. I think you guys got to give yourselves a little more credit. Don't sell yourselves so short. You know, this happened for a reason. I do not believe this happened as that's it, that's the end game, this is where it ends for you. No, I believe this was an opportunity for growth. Maybe there was some sort of karmic debt that we had to pay. I certainly know I paid mine, right? But at the same time, when things come into our lives, they can equally have a positive and a negative. There's always a silver lining, and what may look gloom now, later may be the brightest moment of your life. But you won't recognize until you walk that path. And you know, I said it before. You know that saying where one door has to close before another one opens. What does that mean? Well, you might need to close the door on your psychopathic, abusive, narcissistic predator first before another door opens for you. But even in that case, the hallway is a bitch. A lot of you guys are afraid to walk that path. Okay? And I'm not saying it's easy. You got to walk that path, and you got to walk that path alone sometimes, right? To really test what you're made of. And you have to walk that path with the trauma, with the PTSD, with the fear, with the unanswered questions, with the panic attacks that you might experience along the way. But you got to keep going. You got to keep going, because if you go back, you know what you're going to get, and it's going to be worse. Because the narcissist respects you a lot less when you take them back, believe me. So I hope the answer, the simple answer that I gave you at the beginning of the video about why these people are the way they are, I hope that answer is enough for you to wake up and say, okay, you know what? Enough is enough. I didn't sign up for this shit. I have a long life to live. And I don't know what else is out there, but I know that I don't like what's in front of me right now. And this is never gonna change. This is never gonna stop. They're never gonna get better. And the shit that they did, you can forgive all you want, but the narcissist, the evil, psychopathic narcissists, they prey on your forgiveness. They want you to forgive them. That's how they get an edge over you. So I'm not saying don't forgive them, but I'm saying, you know, you got to forgive yourself for not knowing what you were in. You got to forgive yourself for not trusting in the power of the universe, in the creator, in your ability to conquer challenges. You got to forgive yourself for not trusting in yourself. Okay, you made a mistake. You overlooked the red flag. You stayed a little bit too long in a relationship that you know you should have gotten out of. Okay, fine. Again, we're not perfect. I was there too. I was there too. But enough is enough. And this is how you learn, and this is how you grow. Life goes on. Do you want to move forward? Or do you want to just stay in that negative feedback loop over and over again, getting the same shit that you already know you're going to get, the same shit that's making you miserable, with false hope that it's just going to go away on its own? That's not how it works. That's not how it works. So I can help you guys accelerate the process. If you work directly with me on my private coaching program, you will be surprised how fast you're going to start waking up to the truth, how fast your inspiration is going to come back. Because sometimes what we need is having someone in your corner who has been through the trenches, who has been there before and has survived. And we've got hundreds of thousands of people watching videos like this every day, millions, that have been in the same situation, have walked in your shoes, and have also lived to tell the tale. So what makes you think that your story is the worst story? Everyone tells me, Kita, my story is going to be a little different than what you're used to, so just, I'm warning you. And I just laugh, and then they tell me their story. I'm like, that's nothing. Not that I'm downplaying it, but it's like, I've heard it all. And it's, you know, same shit, different names, different faces. Some are more psychotic. We got stalkers, we got criminals, and then we got, you know, antisocial, you know, covert narcissists. We got fucking witches. We got warlocks. We got all sorts of evil spirits. We got alcoholics. We got addicts. We got all sorts of shit that just blends in with the narcissism. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. I've seen it. I've lived it. You know, none of it is good. It doesn't have a happy ending as long as you're intertwined with somebody like that. You just gotta cut your losses. You gotta go. You gotta go. And you gotta take it as a loss. Later, you'll realize it was really a win in disguise. But you gotta take it in the chin. Say, okay, look, they got the best of me. They took it. They took everything I had. They ran game on me. They conned me. Yeah, sucks. But you're not going to be able to get your vengeance on somebody that doesn't play by your rules. It's not going to happen. It's a waste of your time. You're being baited, actually. You're being baited. Because remember, a narcissist is empty inside. They need attention. They don't care whether you love them or you hate them. That's perfectly fine with them. That's what they want. But goddamn, if you ignore them, they get weak, angry, they lose their shit. They cannot stand being ignored. And that's how you destroy a narcissist. I'll make a video about that in the future. Anyway, I hope you guys got some value. As I always say, if you like the video, please share it with somebody that you think might benefit from this information. drop a like, remember to subscribe if this is your first time in the channel. Thanks for watching to the very end. Again, a reminder, if you'd like to work directly with me, we can workshop through this situation together. I have a link below in the description where you can get more information on my private one-on-one coaching program. I've worked with hundreds of survivors in the community, all right, and I would love to work with you. So do not hesitate to reach out. All right, hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. My name is Kira. This is Psychopath Exposure. I will catch you in the next segment. Take care, guys. Have a good one.